During my freshman year at Ball State, every time that I would go home for holidays or on certain weekends, my dogs were so excited to see me. I have 4 dogs at home, so every time that I went home, they were running around the house like crazy, jumping up and down, barking, crying, and they were just so excited to see me. So every time that I went home, my morale was instantly raised. And it sure is a good feeling to know when someone missed you, whether it's your parents, siblings, or even your pets. They were happy to see me, so I was happy to see them, and my morale was raised. And I'm sure many of you can relate to me. Do you have a pet at home? A dog? A cat? A guinea pig? Is it excited to see you when you've been away? Our four-legged friends often show us excitement after we've been gone for a while, especially dogs. It seems like being gone for 15 minutes is the equivalent of 15 days to a dog. And it's for this reason that they are so capable of uplifting our spirits, because we love them so much. Which is why animals, especially dogs, are now being used for aid to human patients in recovery and in therapy. The use of animals, specifically dogs, is beneficial by creating a more carefree atmosphere and environment, and should be adapted nationwide by hospitals and treatment centers. Using pets in therapy is not a new idea. As quoted by Wolters Kluwer Health in a 2002 release of the American Journal of Nursing, Florence Nightingale stated in 1859 that a small pet animal is often an excellent companion for the sick, especially for long chronic cases. She went on to recommend that patients care for an animal because it's beneficial to their recovery. And now, 155 years later, hospitals are finally taking advantage of this practice. As hospitals and places of treatment do begin to adopt this practice, they are seeing some great changes in their patients' health. Those of us who own pets already know that they make us happy, but a growing body of scientific research is showing that they also make us healthy or healthier, said Julie Robner on the March 5th, 2014 airing of the National Public Radio. That helps explain the increasing use of animals, dogs and cats mostly, but also birds, fish, and even horses, in settings ranging from schools, hospitals and nursing homes, to jails and mental institutions. For example, Viola, a retired guide dog at the National Institute of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, has been greeting children and the stressed out parents of children who are taking experimental therapies. Robner continued her broadcast by saying that Viola greets them with a wagging tail and instantly raises their spirits. But that may not be all that she's doing. Dogs like Vi have helped launch an entirely new field of medical research over the past 3 decades. In 1970, researchers started to uncover the underpinnings of the animal-human bond. One of the earliest studies, published in 1980, showed that heart attack victims who own pets are more likely to live longer than those who didn't. And another early study found that petting your own dog can reduce your high blood pressure. The Courier Mail ran an article about physiotherapist Dan Vermeulen from Essen, Germany, who has trained a pig named Felix to assist him in providing emotional therapy to the elderly. Mr. Vermeulen believes that his pig stimulates curiosity, activity, and alertness among the elderly, which helps to ward off the passivity of growing older. Now, who says that only humans are to benefit from this practice? If dogs and cats, or even pigs, from animal shelters were to be used, they could regain that connection that they miss from their daily lives. Also, they would be getting out more, being more promoted, and are more likely to be adopted. An article in Psychological Science states that animals who reside in even a modern, well-run animal shelter are subject to a variety of stressors, including that isolation from any former attachment figure. So dogs and cats are in this environment where they no longer have this one attachment figure who they love. But if they were able to travel outside of the shelter and go to hospitals, they could connect with patients, and they could get that attachment figure back in their life, which not only would raise the patient's spirits, but the animals as well. So now, what happens when a dog visits me, bites me in the leg, infects me with rabies? How is that going to help me heal? Actually, this event is quite unlikely because hospitals have some guidelines in place that protect the patient and only allow certain dogs to come in, or other animals. Several doctors of veterinary medicine from the Ontario Veterinary College conducted a survey and wrote an article about the handling of animals before visitation. These doctors explained in their studies that most hospitals require for the owners or handlers of the pet to groom, bathe, trim nails, wash paws, and brush the teeth of their pets. They also only allow pets who are up to date on vaccinations, parasite-free, and possess a good temperament. Now, not all of hospitals do require this, so the doctor suggests that a more uniform protocol would be very beneficial. With so much good that can come out of one thing, why aren't we pushing this use of animals in therapy to its full extent? The further implementation of dogs in therapy would be beneficial to human patients and dogs alike because it makes them both happier and healthier. Now remember, petting your dog can lower your blood pressure and help you live longer. So I encourage you to go home tonight, hug your pet, pat him on the head, and because after all, he could be your very own personal fountain of youth.